Well, good morning to everyone. Well, we turn our mic on here. Is it? Are we good? Okay, there we go. I just wasn't speaking into it. Well, good morning to everyone. We've got a big day of news here at Murray State, not the least of which is the Dairy Queen is open today. So we're really happy about that. We were talking about that last night as we returned from a big win at Morehead State. Well, my name is Dave Winder. I'm the Associate AD for Media Relations here with Murray State Athletics, and it is with much excitement and anticipation that we gather here this morning in the Murray Room of the CFSB Center to welcome Kevin Saal and his family to the Murray State family here today. It's glad to have them with us here today. In my association with Murray State over the years, it's my job to keep track of the historical moments that happen as the seasons go by. And I've seen a lot of those big moments come by, and they're ones that you never forget. And these moments go into the history book of this great university and our great athletics department. So it just makes one appreciate to play a part in it, as you all play your part as well. Murray State is the finest place that we know, and today we're very proud to welcome the Saal family into our family. So I welcome all of you here today, and we'll get our news conference going then here today at the CFSB Center. In a moment, President Dr. Bob Jackson is going to come up and make a few comments and introduce Kevin. We will have a little bit of time for our media to ask a few questions of Kevin after he makes his remarks. And then tomorrow morning at 9 o'clock, we're going to gather back in here for a little breakfast. And if you want to come back and say hello to the Saal family, please come on back and join us in the morning at 9 o'clock right here in this room. Thank you again for being here this morning and your support of Murray State. And at this time, I'll welcome Dr. Jackson.
As I walked in earlier, Dave, you're correct. All I heard was, hey, it's the Dairy Queen is opening. So a lot of other big news, too. And this is an exciting day for Murray State University and Racer Athletics. And first and foremost, I want us to introduce or recognize our student athletes. A few are here. I know many are traveling. So if you all could, if you're seated, stand. If you can wave in the back. I mean, you're the reason we're here, and we appreciate you. I think maybe there's a few here. And also our coaches and our assistant coaches and athletic administration. So I know you're here, and please let us know. We appreciate it. Second, on behalf of everyone at Murray State University, I want to thank our faculty and staff, our supporters, donors, season ticket holders, fans, alumni, friends who support our university and our programs. We're very fortunate to have the best fans in the world, and tomorrow night we're going to pack the CFSB Center for another record crowd, and want to thank all of you all for what you do each and every day. I also want to recognize an individual for the last several months who's been wearing a few different hats. And Velvet's in the back, and she doesn't like a lot of recognition, but I want to thank Velvet Milkman. She's done a wonderful job for the last several months. Velvet, we appreciate you very much. Our Board of Regents are here today, and I would ask you all to stand as I call your name. We want to recognize our governing body of the institution. Chair Susan Guest, Susan is here. Vice Chair Lisa Rudolph, Dr. Don Tharp, Catherine Farmer, our faculty regent. Don, you want? Sharon Green, Phil Schooley, our staff regent. Dan Kemp, student regent J.T. Payne, Jerry Rhodes, Eric Krigler, football star, Virginia Gray. Thank you all for being here, and thank you for what you do for this institution. We appreciate it. During the past several months, we've gone through an extensive search process in order to find our next director of athletics for Murray State University. We had about 100 applicants when we started this process, and so it's taken a lot of time. We've spent many hours, and applicants from some of the top athletic programs in this country. You all would be impressed. Our search committee is here today, and I want to recognize those individuals. They have spent countless hours in regard to working through this over the last few months. So again, I'd like to recognize you, and stay standing, and we'll thank you for what you're doing. Regent Jerry Rhodes, Chair of the Search Committee, Regent Eric Krigler, Regent Phil Schooley, retired Provost Bonnie Higginson, Racer Hall of Famer Dennis Jackson, student athlete, OVC track star, and I think OVC Athlete of the Week, Tam Lawrence. Tam may be traveling. Former athletic administrator Margaret Simmons, alumnus and supporter Mark Workman, Dr. Joy Humphreys, Assistant Dean of the Bauernfein College of Business, and I served with these individuals as well, and it was quite an honor, and please thank them for their work. When we started this process, we outlined several goals for the next AD as well as our program. And I want to name just a few of the things at our very first meeting that we had, the qualities of an individual as well as items for our program as we move forward over the next several years. Success in the classroom, success on the field and then on the court, someone who will do their job with the highest level of integrity, someone who understands the needs of our student athletes. These are all items that search committee members wrote out. Someone who has a record of achievement and can build our program to a new, higher level. Someone who has passion and enthusiasm. And someone who understands our long and successful history here at Murray State University and understands the role and importance of our fans, alumni, and friends. We found that person in Kevin Saal. I've had the opportunity personally to hire several folks in my career. And Kevin is among the most passionate, energetic, hardworking, successful, and thoughtful of this group. He is currently the Executive Associate Athletics Director at the University of Kentucky. He's one of the senior leaders overseeing and managing several key aspects of that athletics program. One of his recent major accomplishments was the new $49 million baseball facility, Kentucky Proud Park. And I think he's still undefeated in Kentucky Proud Park at 2-0 as of yesterday. Today, he's not there any longer. But he's served in a number of roles at the University of Kentucky since 2007, and he's worked with all sports there. Under his leadership, he has advanced academic success, developed nationally recognized athletic programs, set fundraising and sponsorship records, and managed facility enhancements totaling over $250 million. Kevin has also served in athletic administrative roles at the University of Missouri, Kansas City, and Kansas State. He holds a BS in psychology from Texas Christian University, a master's degree in athletics administration from the University of Kansas. Kevin is here today, as Dave said, with his wife Jennifer. We're welcome again. Welcome to Murray, Kentucky, and Murray State University. And their son Alex. And Alex, we welcome you as well. And your brother Jacob could not be here today, and I think your father will explain that in just a minute. But let's give a warm welcome to Kevin Saal.
Wow, good morning. See if I can get myself situated here. What a special place. What a special day. I appreciate everybody being here. There's a lot of pride and family that you can feel here. So prepared about 12 minutes of comments, and I want to make sure I get to it because we've got a lot of folks that are in the middle of competing and in the middle of the day. So first, thank you very much. What an honor and privilege it is to be with you today and accept the athletics director position at Murray State University. Before we get started, I want to introduce some folks that are very special to me in this room. Has been touched on. My wife, Jennifer. I'm not going to look at her because she's tearing up. So my wife, Jennifer, my youngest son, Alex. Got some special folks in the back of the room. My collegiate coach at the University of Arkansas, Dale Schultz, and his wife, Darby, are here. They made the 7-hour drive yesterday to be here, and I'm very appreciative of that. Mitch and Connie Barnhart from Lexington are here, very special part of our family, and Donnie and Megan Mefford are here as well from Lexington. So I appreciate so much them being here, and I'm very thankful. Speaking of thanks, gratitude is going to be a big part of our program. And so I would be remiss if I didn't thank so many of the folks that have been a part of me being here now. I'm going to take off my notes, the interim, in front of President Jackson, and I'm so thrilled for you and so happy to be a part of your team. Your passionate commitment and love for Murray State is evident in the time that we've spent with each other. Your vision for blending highly successful both academics and athletics programs. You have great expectations, and I'm looking forward to being a part of your team. So thank you. To the search committee and the support staff supporting the search committee, the leadership of Chair and Regent Jerry Rhodes. Mr. Rhodes, thank you so much for your time and your passion for Murray State. And then Regents Eric Krigler and Phil Schooley. Appreciate so much you all being a part of that. From the first time I met with the committee, I felt an instant connection. This committee conducted a professional, comprehensive search process, and their passion for Murray State was clear every step of the way. Throughout the various stages of the search process, the committee sold me on this job. Very passionate about Murray and this place, and it's an incredible opportunity at a prominent and successful Division I program. I appreciate all their time and effort involved and in that detailed and extensive search process. To the Board of Regents who are with us today, thank you so much for your trust, your confidence, and your support. I'm eager to be a part of your innovative vision for Murray State and look forward to getting started. Excuse me. I also want to extend a special thanks to Velvet Milkman, who has just done so much work in the last 9 months that is admirable for everything that you've done. Your leadership as interim athletics director since July, in addition to your responsibilities as senior women's administrator and our women's golf coach for a very successful women's golf program, understand all the time and efforts and energies you put into our program. Very appreciative. To the members of the media that are with us today, thank you so much for being here. Your dedicated coverage of Murray State and our athletics program, we certainly could not do it without you. Finally, I want to thank my family who has sacrificed and stood by me throughout our journey. Jennifer, my wife of 20 years, thank you for your support, your patience, your love, and your sacrifice. My son, oldest son, Jacob, is a freshman in Lexington, and right now he's sitting in statistics class. So from an academic standpoint, I told him that was going to be a priority for him and not missing that class, but he sure wishes he could be here, and he's excited about our move as a family. To my youngest son, Alex, who's currently a junior in high school, I do want to stop a minute. Alex has selflessly signed on to moving prior to his senior year in high school, and I don't know a lot of juniors that would do that. I don't know that I would have done that. So Alex, I thank you for your adventurous spirit and being with us. And today is just as much their day as it is mine. A little background. I grew up in a rural college town in Manhattan, Kansas. My father was a psychology professor, and my mother was an advisor at the College of Arts and Sciences. I was the little guy running around Bluemont Hall, popping in and out of psychology professors' offices as a young guy. And as I grew older, I watched my dad's career go from a psychology professor to a department head, and then eventually to a dean and a provost. So I have a unique perspective in that I grew up on the academic side of higher education. I participated in intercollegiate athletics as a student athlete, and now begin my 20th year as an athletics administrator. Athletics has always been a part of my life from childhood. Competing as a collegiate student athlete, it's been in our DNA. I still recall the excitement of signing my national letter of intent to compete for Coach Schultz. And I look to share that same excitement with our student athletes that come to Murray. I didn't get here alone. I've been blessed with tremendous colleagues and numerous friends in the business, all the coaches and the student athletes I've had the privilege to serve. I wouldn't be here today without their support, guidance, and leadership. My last 12 years at the University of Kentucky have been a wonderful and challenging, fulfilling opportunity. I've been blessed with tremendous mentors and colleagues. I know they're watching today. They did a little watch party in Lexington to our executive and senior team. Thank you so much for your support and leadership and sharpening of me over the last 12 years. To our coaches, specifically Johan Settergren, Nick Mingione, Rachel Lawson, Mark Stoops, and John Calipari, thank you for the opportunity to serve you. To the many friends and supporters, SEC Commissioner Greg Sankey, University of Kentucky President Eli Capilouto, spent time talking to him about Murray State, and he's very passionate about this opportunity as well. Former President Lee Todd, who I know is a close friend of many in this room, who originally encouraged me to research this opportunity here at Murray and spent a lot of time talking to him about it. And finally, Wendell and Vicki Bell, whose friendship and support is really unmatched. To Mitch and Connie, so many words to be said and so little time to say them. Mitch has taught me about relationships. Having a steady and responsible growth mindset, and that the people make the place. Mitch continues to provide guidance and support, and I know he always will. He's an outstanding mentor to so many in our business, and I'm blessed to be one of them. And my charge is to bring those qualities to Murray State. The night before I met with the search committee for the final time, Mitch and I spent some time on the phone, and he'll remember this conversation. He was offering advice and counsel. And it struck me that evening that what Mitch and Connie have created in Lexington goes far beyond resources, rankings, wins and losses, or metrics. They've created the truest sense of the word family. And I thank you for your leadership, your example, and your friendship. It's my goal to foster that same environment at Murray State, to develop a culture that is inclusive, warm, transparent, hardworking, and servicing. Why Murray State? Murray State is a prestigious academic and athletic institution with a rich history and success and national recognition. It's a forward-moving organization. Today is a big day for that organization, and I'm energized to be a part of it. Within the last month, I made 2 personal trips to Murray. I was able to watch the Belmont game and that fantastic game atmosphere, and then last week was here for the SEMO game as well, and both doubleheaders. Enjoyed watching Coach Turner and Coach McMahon compete. So Murray's a special place. It meets the heartbeat of how I blend higher education and athletics. We are the front porch, and we want to serve and support the campus mission. Okay. Athletics is a source of pride in and of itself, but our objective, the way I see it, is to highlight the points of pride all over campus. And so we will use our vehicle to do so, and I look forward to meeting with all the faculty and staff to do that. Murray State is clearly a family community. It's where I want to be. It's where I want my family to be. I grew up in a similar college town, as I mentioned, so for us it's like coming home, and I'm very appreciative of that. Murray State's support for highly successful athletics program is evident, and we must continue to align our resources with expectations. My peers would describe me as a balanced administrator with both external and internal experience, high-level experience with football, men's and women's basketball, Olympic sport program development. I've participated in every aspect of the fundraising process, but most importantly, the relationships and human capital pieces. And I have a strong work ethic and a heart for service. Our vision for Murray State Athletics centers around 3 concepts. Number 1, our core values, and I'll walk through each one of these with you. Number 2, our student-athlete experience, and number 3, our comprehensive athletic success. Our 5 core values. Number 1, we need to have people of great character in our program. That's the foundational piece. Our people must have integrity for making sound and responsible choices. As staff, coaches, and student-athletes, we will ambitiously pursue knowledge. We will exhibit great stewardship of the resources that we've been given, because to whom much is given, much is expected. If we can achieve those first 4 core values, the natural progression is comprehensive, broad-based athletic success. That's worked for us in Lexington, and it can work for us here. Number 2, we want to maximize our ability to provide a first-class student-athlete experience by focusing on the comprehensive success of our student-athletes. We all know this. Our young people come to Murray from so many different backgrounds with so many different skills and talents, and that's why we love working at a university, the diversity of that. We are the last developmental piece for folks, so I believe strongly in a model that develops our young people as students, as people, and as players with the ultimate goal on being professionals. So we will spend a lot of time talking about what that progression looks like for our student-athletes and our key performance indicators for moving our student-athletes throughout that process of being a student, a person, and a player. Athletics' focus will continue to be on obtaining the degree. However, we must look past the degree. We've got to develop the human capital in our region to actually place our student-athletes in the careers to which they aspire and that they're educated for. In order to achieve these goals, we must have student athletes, coaches, and staff who are committed to investing the time, energy, and resources. It is not a passive process. We have such a narrow window of time to influence our student athletes before we send them off as professionals. And professionals can be either in the workforce, enrolling in professional school, what have you, or for a small percentage being professional athletes. Number 3, we define comprehensive athletic success as taking advantage of all of our resources to achieve competitive excellence in all of our sports. I would like to recognize and congratulate our recent conference champions and NCAA participants within the last year. Coach Schwepker in our volleyball program, I don't know if he's here today. Coach Lodge in our women's soccer team. Coach Lawler with rifle, appreciate you being here as you prepare for national championships next week. Coach McMahon in our men's basketball program, and Coach Milkman in women's golf. One of the many attributes that has attracted me to Murray State is our ability to be successful in all of our programs, and that's a great example of that. Competitive excellence starts with earning OVC championships. OVC championships beget NCAA participation, and NCAA participation generates valuable Director's Cup points for our program and exposure for our university. The success of our men's basketball program is of great importance to this institution and our fan base. We are in our 94th season and 70th in the OVC, boasting 41 regular season and/or tournament championships and 16 NCAA tournament appearances. Thanks to the generous donors such as Dr. Gene Ray, who I had an opportunity to speak to this morning, and his family, we have some of the best facilities in the country where our young men and women can grow and develop. I'm excited to work with Coach McMahon and his staff as we continue to build upon this powerful brand, and I look forward to tomorrow night's atmosphere in the CFSB Center. It sounds like we're getting pretty close to a sellout, so it should be a special night. I've been blessed with unique opportunities to build football programs at multiple stops in my 20-year career. I've worked with several coaching legends to include Coach Bill Snyder, Rich Brooks, and Mark Stoops. We've seen school record consecutive bowl streaks at 2 institutions and record-breaking single-season results. I understand what that success looks like and how to get there. We must have, number 1, an unwavering commitment to improving each and every day. Strategic investment in the program, matching resources to expectations, as I mentioned before, and then trust and commitment within the fan base through transparency and a unique sense of ownership. Murray State football has won league championships before, and we can do it again. I congratulate Coach Stewart and his staff on a definitive step forward in 2018. Some very exciting games to watch there, particularly I believe it was the SEMO game. I congratulate them on their success and a quality recruiting class here in the last couple of weeks that's been released as well. I look forward to building that program together. It's critically important to understand that the growth of any one program can't and won't come at the expense of another. We will provide support and strive to achieve desired success in all sports, men's, women's, on and off the field. I'm energized about working with all of our head coaches to develop each one of our programs. Competitively, our mission is clear: to methodically and responsibly build the best FCS program in our state and region, to be a consistent contender for OVC championships in all sports, and to maximize our ability to earn valuable Director's Cup points. As history has shown time and time again, comprehensive athletic success is critical to accomplishing the university's mission. History has shown successful athletics programs lead to improved campus recruiting and retention efforts by creating a unique campus life, and that's what we will strive to do with our external team. So what's next? I have a lot of listening and learning to do. I appreciate everybody's time and being here today, and I look forward to more time down the road where we can talk about Murray State athletics, what we're doing well, what are our challenges, and how can we meet those challenges. First 90 days, my goal is to meet with as many constituents as possible within athletics on campus with our faculty, staff, in the community, and the region. Athletics is certainly a team sport, and we have to engage all of our alumni, our ticket holders, fans, boosters, businesses, and industry. I want to establish a connection and maintain high-level accessibility in effort to foster real and authentic relationships. I want to say that again. I want to be accessible, and I want to foster real and authentic relationships with each and every one of you. I want to engage our alumni in new and unique ways, and amongst our staff, I want to foster a culture of family and creativity. I want to experiment a little bit. I want to try some new things. We're certainly not perfect, and we'll make some mistakes, but we're going to pick up the pieces and keep going and see what sticks and keep trying and working hard at it. To our fans and generous donors, your pride and passion is infectious, and we will do anything we can to make you proud. Your investment in Murray State Athletics and our young people is critical. I look forward to building those relationships with you. As we begin the process of assembling a leadership team charged with drafting a comprehensive 5-year strategic plan for Murray State Athletics, I look forward to working with the campus community so that that plan can fit within the overarching university master plan. Finally, as your athletics director, I'm committed to, number one, serving our student athletes, surrounding them with dynamic coaches, a commitment to earning their degrees and developing leaders as proud alumni and winning championships. Number two, ensuring our coaches have the resources necessary to be successful, looking for creative ways to maximize those resources. Number three, create an environment of collective buy-in and comprehensive success. Everyone who touches this program impacts the lives of our student athletes, everybody in this room. When we can't do it alone, and I certainly appreciate your help. In closing, my family and I are excited to join your family. We're thrilled to call Murray home, and I can't wait to get started. With that, we'll happily address any questions.
We do have some time here just for a few questions. Neil?
Kevin, I know you come from a program where funding may not be the issue that it is here. How do you see getting to the point where you can maybe improve facilities in the program here at Murray State?
That's a great question. Thank you for being here, and thank you for asking that. I think it's going to take collective buy-in. First, the vision. What does that mean? What does our facilities master plan look like for athletics? And so a lot of conversations that will go into that with Dr. Jackson and our leadership team. The second piece comes from just generous donors and support and selling vision with folks that want to be a part of that and be a part of that success. So difficult to say what exactly that looks like at this point in time, but I know that as a family that we can come together and create something really special for our student athletes in all of our facilities. Thank you.
Great to meet you, Kevin. Is this on? Liam Niemeyer here with WKMS Public Radio.
Thank you.
I was wondering what your philosophy was on using student fees, generally the sort of using student fees to subsidize operations for an athletic department at a university.
Yes, it's a great question. I think you'll get a lot of different answers if you ask that question around the country. I think it's critically important, but I would also tell you that resource development comes from three different things, in my mind, three different buckets. Number one, it comes from philanthropic giving, fundraising and fundraising. Number two, it can come from the contracts that we work with, whether that's competitive contracts or corporate contracts, whether that's an apparel provider or drink provider, whatever the case may be. And the other pieces are from efficiencies. And so I think for us, we need to be dialed in at a high level in all three of those areas before we start talking about additional monies coming in from anywhere else. We need to maximize those three buckets.
Mr. Saal, Ed Marlowe, the Paducah Sun. Quick question. After 12 years at the University of Kentucky, I know you touched on it, but why Murray State? Why did you pick to apply for this position and generally accept it when it was offered?
Yes. I would tell you that it's the passion of the people that were involved. And I shared with you before that the committee sold me on this opportunity. I had some early conversations with folks and was really excited in the initial research. The sport portfolio and profile looks very similar to maybe what a Kentucky did several years ago. And so there's some challenges there, and I'm looking forward to those challenges. But at the same time, I feel like there are resources in place and there are resources that can be acquired to make sure that we move this forward in a way that everybody can be proud of. And so just seeing that pride and seeing those elements there and the possibilities and the potential is very exciting to me. Something we want to be a part of.
Kevin, thank you. I know everybody wants to say hello to the family and welcome Kevin in, so come up and shake their hand, give them a hug, and welcome them to Murray State, and then we'll do a little media one-on-one afterwards. But thank you all for being here, and it's a great day for Murray State today. Thank you.
Thank you. Go Racers. Bill, how are you? I'll be you. Absolutely. We talked on the phone.
Nice to see you.
How are you?